let's just throw this question to you. Say you've had a heart attack, you survived a heart attack, doctor says take this drug, and over a 5-year period, how much extra life extension would you hope it would add over that 5 years? You can do it over whatever 20 years, but just say 5 years to start with. How much longer would you hope to live from taking that statin?
Okay, so over 5 years, then I'd say maybe a year.
Okay,
25% more.
Okay, fine. That sounds pretty good.
20% more.
Yeah. Okay. The actual figure, not disputed, from industry-sponsored trials, right? 4.2 days.
This is a real misrepresentation of the evidence, and quite frankly, it's also a very deceptive way of framing the question. Because let's say you're 55 years old and you've just had a heart attack, and you're thinking, I want to live as long as possible. Should I take this medication or not? The period of time of interest is from 55 to probably 85. If we look at roughly average life expectancy for someone that's 55 years of age, you probably want to achieve that. So if you go to the extreme, looking only at 5 years or 1 year or a month after having an event and asking what life extension benefit you're going to get, then all you're really looking at are the population of people who were at extremely high risk and very likely to die within that very brief period of time. So what's of interest is how it impacts life extension over the subsequent 20 to 30 years that you're likely to have if all goes well. And that's more so on the magnitude of multiple years based on the available evidence. Now, life extension, quantified in terms of years, is not really a primary outcome in the vast majority of studies. And instead, what's typically assessed is the frequency of significant events like having another heart attack. And in someone that's had a heart attack taking a high-intensity statin, the risk reduction is about 25%. There's some variance there, but it gives you a bit of context. And the other thing I find really sneaky about discussions relating to statins, heart attacks, and particularly this conversation about life extension and overall mortality, is that we ignore the fact that heart attacks are not just about live or die. Heart attacks can have an incredibly negative impact on quality of life even if you live. You can end up with heart failure, exercise intolerance, an inability to work, arrhythmias and other heart problems, and all of the secondary effects associated with that, such as the exercise intolerance leading to you not being able to do your job or to engage in your social activities, that impacting other aspects of your physical and mental health. And if you frame a research question over whether or not someone dies over a short period of time, well, all you're looking at are extreme instances, and you're not looking at the realistic framing that someone would have if they were in this situation. Now, this is not surprising because Dr. Malhotra is a known anti-statin advocate. He regularly misrepresents the evidence, both online and in his published work. And unfortunately, this is likely to have a negative impact on patients, as the use of statins in a secondary prevention context is one of the most uncontroversial and beneficial interventions that we have in medicine.